NFL Live. Bob?
Okay, we welcome those of you watching the Patriots play the Jets and the Dolphins and the Bills. Bob Costas along with Will McDonough, and shortly we'll check with O.J. Simpson, who's along the sidelines at Rich Stadium. First, though, to the scoreboard. In the game most of you are watching, Buffalo with the halftime lead, 7-0. Reich, a 7-yard touchdown pass to James Lofton. Each team had scoring opportunities. Pete Stoyanovich missed a 28-yard field goal for Miami, only his third miss of the season. Reich fumbled the ball at the Miami 23 in the first quarter. Andre Reed had an apparent touchdown reception bounce right off his chest later in that period, so it's just 7-0 in favor of Buffalo with their record of 12-2 over the 11-3 Dolphins. Dallas is playing in Philadelphia. Troy Aikman separated his right shoulder, replaced by Babe Laufenberg. This is important for Dallas. 4-game winning streak, record of 7-7. They've got a crack at that last wild card. Philadelphia is assured a wild card. The Redskin defeat in miraculous fashion last night as Indianapolis caught them at the wire at the Hoosier Dome has really helped Philadelphia's prospects. If they can win their last 2 games, they'd be assured of home field against Washington in that first-round wild card game. Houston and Cincinnati. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from that one. The last time the Oilers visited Riverfront Stadium, they were blasted 61-7. Here's Warren Moon coming off that great performance a week ago in Kansas City, and he gets busy right away, tossing this 21-yarder to Hayward Jeffries, puts the Oilers up 10-0. But Cincinnati comes back, and James Brooks had a big first half. Here he takes the handoff, turns the corner, and gains 44 yards before he's knocked out of bounds at the 3. He didn't get in, but Ickey Woods would just a few plays later. In he goes, powering through people. They missed the extra point. It was 10-6. And then later, it's Brooks again. Over 100 yards rushing for him in the first half alone. This one, a 56-yard touchdown. Throw in a couple of field goals, 1 for each team. And here's your score as they come up on halftime tied at 13 apiece. Cleveland is playing in Pittsburgh. You cannot overstate how bad the Cleveland Browns are. They have lost 5 fumbles in the first half. Jim Schaffner, the interim coach, watching things go from bad to worse. Each of the first 3 snaps in the game, they lost the ball on fumbles. This is Mike Pagel filling in for the injured Bernie Kosar. Pittsburgh gets it. Bubby Brister immediately capitalizes. He rolls right. He heaves it into the end zone for the touchdown to Mike Mularkey. We're not talking about the first 3 possessions. We're talking about the first 3 snaps. Cleveland loses the ball. Eric Metcalf, who had 2 fumbles in the first half, loses this one. Pittsburgh is all over it. Chris Callaway then will catch a touchdown pass. The 4th-round draft choice, rookie out of Michigan, makes the inside move, gone for the touchdown. Brister threw 4 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Mularkey, 1 to Callaway, another to Merrill Hodge. Here's yet another fumble. Kevin Mack is the culprit here, and Pittsburgh comes up with it. So 3 straight times they had the ball in the first quarter at the 20 or closer. Brister with 4 TD passes all told in the first half. Then Warren Williams had a 1-yard touchdown run. It was only a year ago that Cleveland, early in the season, beat the Steelers 51-0. 35-0 Pittsburgh in this one. Steelers will win the AFC Central with this apparent victory if they can beat the Houston Oilers on the final weekend of the regular season, a big if. Chicago with their record of 10-4, but they've lost 2 in a row with the lead at home, 14-7. They've gone to halftime at Soldier Field. Mike Tomczak for Jim Harbaugh. Tomczak with a 1-yard touchdown run and an 18-yard TD pass to Wendell Davis. Atlanta trying to snap a 7-game losing streak, leading at home over the Rams, 20-10. New England has lost 12 in a row. They're playing the Jets, who have lost 5 straight. Jets lead at home, the game some of you are watching. Halftime in the Meadowlands, 21-7. Willie?
Well, I think in Buffalo, Bob, the story really so far is Thurman Thomas. You know, he's rushed for almost 6 yards a carry. The thing that separates the 2 teams is the Bills have been able to control the ball a little bit on the ground and take some of the pressure off of Frank Reich, where on the Miami side, Marino has almost had to be the whole show.
All right, we're going to go to the sidelines right now in Buffalo, and we'll go to O.J. Simpson. Juice, your thoughts on this first half?
Well, it's been a great first half. You know, I want to comment on something Marvin Albert said earlier. You know, there was a big fight between Bruce Smith and the tight end McCullough. But, you know, those things happen. It was an emotional week leading up to an emotional game, and they had a little altercation. I think it's to the credit of the Bills that nobody will talk about it. They said it didn't happen. I think that's because of they're sensitive to the old bickering Bill title. They don't want to go back to that reputation. But in the first half, running up into the tunnel with Frank Reich, he says everything is working. We can do do everything. Thurman Thomas says, I want the ball. We can run on these guys all day. And Mark Clayton says he feels great. As I said, Marino was very happy that Mark Clayton was able to play after 5 weeks, and he's been going to him, I think, 5 times in the first half for big yardage.
Okay, O.J., we'll check with you later in the day, and we'll be sending things back very shortly to Buffalo or to the Meadowlands, depending upon which game you're watching for the second half. But halftime here on NBC will continue with an additional segment right after this.
Hi, my name is John Alfred of the Miami Dolphins, and this is my wife, Lynn. And over there is Miami, a city of contrasts. It's a beautiful city, and Miamians are people with the courage and compassion to solve their problems. That's where the United Way comes in. We're here with some of the big brothers and big sisters of Miami, a United Way-supported agency. Mitch's little brother, Louis, came to Miami 9 years ago. The future for Louis could have been one on the streets, with drugs, crime, and violence. But he was lucky because he found a big brother. Louis has learned English, he's going to school, and he's got someone to give him guidance and the special love that bonds big and little brothers and sisters. Lynn and I have joined this program, and we want kids to have a chance. In the NFL, we do more than just play football. We get involved in our community. And the United Way is more than the best way to give and to care. The United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
The many faces of Sally Field.
Sounds like Sybil, actually.
And for the first time, the kids of Sonny Von Bulow speak out.
It's a blatant exploitation of our mother's person.
About their reversal of fortune. All that plus sex, lies, and videotape star Andy McDowell on First Person with Maria Shriver. Tonight at 8.
Body Smith Express. Catch the power.
Come see the Parabody Body Smith Express at the Fitness Source, 17th and State in the Albertsons Marketplace.
Edmark Chevrolet has the largest selection of new and used vehicles in its history. A $6 million inventory has created outstanding values like this. A new half-ton four-wheel drive pickup for just $196 per month. That's right, just $196 per month. Plus many other new and used vehicles with similar savings. We must reduce inventories before year-end. So buy now while selection is best in Nampa at Edmark Chevrolet.
We hope your holiday finds you with good friends.
Have a very Merry Christmas.
Welcome back to NFL Live at halftime. Switching gears here for a moment from football to the NBA and the area of blatant promotion. We have an extra Christmas present for you Tuesday here on NBC as the world champion Detroit Pistons take on Michael Jordan and the Bulls at Chicago Stadium. The holiday festivities begin at 3 o'clock Eastern Time with NBA Showtime, at which time Pat Riley and I will renew what promises to be another storied rivalry in hardwood lore. Yes, we'll continue our season-long shooting competition. Of course, all true fans know that this matchup had its origin in this very studio just over a month ago. Now, of course, if you don't get the break, you've got to pull up for the jumper. We're not going to let this hoop behind us go to waste. We get one shot per show for the entire year, each of us. Then we'll see who's ahead at year's end. Ready? Watch. Right? No! No!
Come on, let's go. We don't have time.
But I can't shoot my high arcer. The studio lights are in the way. Oh, but the lights! But you got to shoot it flat. You got to go with the Tommy Heinsohn line drive jumper. So Riley leads 1-0, but there's a lot of basketball left, folks, and the stakes are extremely high. The loser must wear his hair in the winner's style at the NBA Finals, and I do not plan on sporting that slick back look. Just one of the many subplots coming your way on Christmas Day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Scintillating programming, I'm sure you'll agree. For now, back to football as the NFL on NBC continues.
George Walter's life is about to change.
Are you from outer space? I'm from another planet.
Now,
You've got to be here for Christmas.
they'll show a town of disbelievers
I believe you.
We are building you a landing pad.
that miracles can happen.
Count on it. The best holiday ever.
Richard Mulligan, Beau Bridges. Guess who's coming for Christmas on NBC tonight?
People across America are coming home to Dodge full-size pickups. Dodge half-ton pickups have the longest powertrain warranty in the business.
It has the power to tow, and horsepower is the first thing I look for. It's like a tough, durable truck.
Dodge Ram pickups have ranked highest in customer satisfaction of all full-size pickups for 2 years running. And you can get $3,200 in total savings on a well-equipped full-size pickup.
Yeah, we compared, and we came running right back to a Dodge dealer.
See a Treasure Valley Dodge dealer now.
Merry Christmas from KTVB, Channel 7.
Welcome back to Buffalo, where the Bills lead the Dolphins by the score of 7-0 at halftime. The only touchdown of the first half, Frank Reich capping off a 13-play drive and a 7-yard pass to the veteran James Lofton.
It's just a great play, you know, but Lofton went down, avoided the linebacker, got beyond McCire, bang, touchdown. Reich looks good. He's, again, you know, talking to Reich, and we're talking about the Buffalo Bills. This is not a Kelly offense. This is a Buffalo Bill offense. And Reich is doing exactly what he told us that he wanted to do. I don't want to hurt this football team. I'm not going to try to do anything spectacular. I'm just going to go out there and do what this game dictates, and that's exactly what they've been doing.
He did cough one up early on that long drive the Bills had going, but the stat line looks good. Reich 9 for 13, 121 yards, the one touchdown. Dan Marino 11 for 20, 128 yards. Mark Clayton in a return today with 5 catches, and Thurman Thomas accounting for 77 yards on the ground. And Miami has been a club that the opposition has been able to run against in recent weeks.
There's just no question about it. They have, and the Buffalo Bills think that they can run against this football team. The interesting thing when you look at these stats, you see how close they are. Now you and I sat around and matched up these two teams, and when you match them up offensively and defensively, almost every category is a few yards off here and there. Nobody really is the favorite on it. But the most important thing about it, the only real striking difference in these two teams is that the Buffalo Bills have outscored in 14 games the Miami Dolphins by 91 points. And that's the only real big difference in this whole thing as far as the Miami Dolphins are concerned.
I'm wondering, though, what does that stat mean? Because it depends who you're playing against, quality of opposition.
But exactly, because these two teams have really played the same teams. They played the Giants. They played everybody in their division twice. I mean, this is the second time for these guys here, except that the Miami still has to play Indianapolis, I believe. But what it tells me is this, that the Buffalo Bills in 14 games are outscoring the Miami Dolphins by 6 points, right? Mm-hmm. They got them by 7-0 right here. Is this the way this game's going to end? No, it's not going to end that way.
And you still feel that the weather will be a factor, or are you wiping that out?
It's not a factor. I looked up there. It's getting a little dark, Marv. But it's not a factor up here where we are, because if it really gets bad, we're going to close the window.
Well, it is now 33 degrees. They say they're expecting rain and some snow later on, but we have not seen any signs of snow. A little bit on the nippy side, but Paul, I know you have been very comfortable right throughout the first half.
I don't have all the clothes on you said I had either.
The Miami Dolphins come in at 11-3. This is Miami's first winning season since back in 1987. That was an 8-7 record in a strike-shortened year. Their 3 losses to the Giants. They were strangled by the Giants defensively. Lost 13-10 to the Raiders. Blown out at Washington. That made the Dolphins a club that was suspect. However, they bounced back with a victory over the Eagles, while Buffalo 12-2, their 2 losses taking place in Houston and early at Miami. Miami must beat Buffalo to have a chance to win the division title. A Buffalo win would clinch the division.
Any other time in the ball game, the Bills believe they still say they have the ball. We have a signal from the officials saying that they have the ball. The Dolphins don't believe it.
And now the official indication that the Bills have recovered, and it was Dwight Drain, 5-year man out of Oklahoma, a native of Miami, born and raised in Miami, who was able to cover up after this muff.
All right, actually, Carlton Bailey is the first guy that gets the ball, but they say the ball comes out, and Drain ends up with the ball. How he gets it remains to be seen.
All right, first down at the Miami 32 as we open up in the third quarter. Here's Thomas. And he was able to break a couple of tackles along the way. Run out by Odom.
Now, the first 7 times that Thurman Thomas carried the ball, he went to his left. Now they're coming back to the right. Here's the blocking. McKellar is there. Ballard is there. Missed tackle was there, and we saw that in the Washington game an awful lot with the Miami Dolphins missed tackles.
He picked up 8, second down and 2 at the 24. Beebe is flanked to the left. Here's Thomas. Not able to pick up the first down. Stopped by Leno's tackle, Sean Lee. Lee emerging as the starting nose tackle in his 3rd year out of North Alabama. There he is, number 98, acquired from Atlanta just before the start of the season. And apparently they spotted it for a first down. He was pushed back the other way. So Thomas did pick it up. It is a first down at the 22.
And the Bills, I think, might start that hurry up again because they've got 3 wide receivers in the ball game, along with the tight end McKellar and the 1 running back Thurman Thomas.
Lofton is to the left. Here's Thomas. Thomas getting inside the 20-yard line. Again, Cliff Odom on the stop. Cliff Odom, the Dolphins' 2nd leading tackler, who's played very well, has had his name called on a number of occasions today. 91 yards, 18 carries for Thurman Thomas. Second down and 7. 2 minutes gone by in the third. Thomas trying to surge for the marker. Offerdahl with the tackle on Thomas.
The thing that's it's not surprising is take a look at the Buffalo Bills. This is all one-on-one blocking. They're blocking to the inside. This time they're going down to the side of John Davis and Howard Ballard, number 65 and 75, along with Ken Hall. But these plays are being run between the tackle and the guard.
It's a 3rd and 1, and Jamie Mueller has come on along with Don Smith. Bills packed in tight. And it's a first down for Smith. J.B. Brown making the stop. Don Smith, a very valuable player for the Bills, an unsung hero in his 4th year out of Mississippi State.
All right, here's the line blocking again. They would look at Ken Hall is right there. He just destroys Sean Lee, who is a nose tackle, and he stays in there. They block out on the linebacker, and here's Ken. You can see Ken Hall on 98, Sean Lee. Once that happens, the hole opens up, and it's a first down.
First down at the 11, right for the end zone. Reed, touchdown.
Reich puts this pass right on target. Now there's a flag in the end zone.
Demonstration number 83 after the touchdown, the 5-yard penalty on the kickoff.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown. Okay, so but it is a touchdown. Okay. Brown is out there covering along with Jarvis Williams, number 26. And look where this ball is thrown. Right into the hands of Andre Reed. No chance for anyone else to get the ball. That is a perfect pass by Frank Reich.
Andre Reed with a 2nd catch of the day leads the AFC with 69 receptions, his 8th touchdown of the season. And Norwood puts it through. Andre Reed, though, had been very quiet in recent years against the Miami Dolphins. He's put up 6 on the board. 11:51 to go in the third, and Buffalo has extended its lead.
No matter where you look, there's Mazda. We're introducing new products like the Miata, setting new sales records, winning the respect of the automotive press, and winning awards for both quality and customer satisfaction. But most important, we're making thousands of people feel just right.
Today, a guy losing his hair can choose between being the man he wants to be
We look great with hair. Do something to save it.
and the man he could become.
Can't you accept nature like everyone else?
Doctors have hair loss treatment programs that are proven to work, and the sooner you see a doctor, the better.
We don't want nature. We want hair.
When you've considered the arguments,
We might look great bald.
and you decide you want hair, there's only one thing to do. See your doctor, or call this number for more information.
Wouldn't it be great if you were centering facing the great Garbanzo in the wrestling match of the year? And wouldn't it be great if the sponsor was a beer? A really great beer like Keystone, the fresh cold filtered beer in a can that tastes like beer in a bottle because of Keystone's specially lined can. And wouldn't it be great if Garbanzo excused himself and you left with his manager, the lovely Darlene? Cold filtered Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By Reebok. By the Upjohn Company. If you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. And by cold filtered Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Andre Reed a moment ago caught that touchdown pass set up by the muff on the kickoff by Mark Logan, and we received word from official stats that the recovery was made by Carlton Bailey. It was a combination of Bailey and Drain, and Bailey gets credit. Bailey in his third year out of North Carolina, a backup linebacker, and that led to this drive. 5 plays, 32 yards, and it's Buffalo 14 and Miami nothing. Scott Norwood with the kick. Logan getting the blocks, able to come back strong. A 36-yard return. Carwell Gardner, a second-string running back, rookie from Louisville, was able to get Logan down.
The reason this play worked for Logan is it was such a short kick, and Logan catches the ball almost in the wedge. And what happened, all he had to do was hit one little crack. The defense coming down really didn't have enough opportunity to get to him. Well, watch it. Here's the wedge right there. So he's already there. There's the whole bunch. He breaks the one tackle, gets down the sideline. Carwell Gardner makes the play, but they're at the 35-yard line.
Logan shaken up after taking the hit from Gardner.
Now, the touchdown to Andre Reed it really is pretty because of where Frank Reich puts this ball. Watch this from ground level. Look at the ball is placed on the outside shoulder. No chance for Brown to be there and no chance for Williams. Just perfect pass.
So Frank Reich connecting on his first 2 touchdown passes of this season. And for Andre Reed, it is number 8 on the year. Andre Reed headed to the Pro Bowl once again.
Now Logan is going to get popped out of bounds. Really don't see where he gets hurt unless rolled over on his arm.
Yeah, landed on the ball. That might have contributed to it. First down at 35. Off the screen, Sammy Smith reaches to the 31. Ray Bentley tripped him up. It'll be a second down and 5. They mark it at the 30-yard line.
Harry Galbraith wants to get in a fight with Cornelius Bennett, I think, and Shane Conlon, which is not smart. I mean, if you're going to pick on somebody, take the little guy, number 31. Take me as the defensive back. Look at Galbraith. He's been talking to him. They're upset, excited.
Now Duper flank to the left. Second down and 5. Here's Duper coming across. Or rather, Clayton coming across. Incomplete. Intended for Clayton. Bentley broke it up. Bentley and Talley combining on the coverage.
Well, Marino just has to unload the ball because Bruce Smith comes inside now on Sims. He comes all the way down the line. And watch it. As soon as Marino sees him, he knows he's got to get rid of the ball right now. Clayton had no chance of catching it.
Marino sacked one time today, although the Bills come in with the feeling we just have to bother Marino. We're not looking to pile up the statistics. That's what Marv Levy was talking about last night. Don't worry about those sack stats. Just want to be around them constantly. Third down, 5. And it is caught for the touchdown by Mark Duper. He beat the corner, James Williams. A 30-yard touchdown pass play. Duper with the bubble and able to hang on.
Well, you know, you're looking at a third down situation. Here's Williams on Duper. Now, watch what happens. Williams slips, I think, or steps on Duper right here. He slips to go down. The ball is hit up in the air. Duper, staying with the ball, gets a touchdown. But, you know, how many times do you see Marino do stuff like this? You know, the Bills go down, they score, it take him almost a half to score a touchdown. Marino does it in one series of down, bang, just like that in a matter of about, 2.5 minutes, touchdown.
Mark Duper with his 5th touchdown of the season. That's a low total for Mark. It's been a bounce-back season for Duper. And here's Stoyanovich. 10:44 remaining in the third quarter here in Buffalo. It's the Bills with a 14-7 lead on the Dolphins.
Reggie, Lewis, roller coaster jam. Lewis, around the world jam. Reggie, reverse jam.
That's reverse jam.
That's Reggie, Lewis.
It may have been 30 years ago, or just yesterday, a roadster caught your eye, and you've never been quite the same. The Mazda Miata. It just feels right.
You can spot someone who saved money with a second-rate antifreeze a mile away. Not all antifreeze is the same. Nothing beats Prestone. And that's something you might appreciate down the road.
I'm Mike, Paxton brother nobody knows. We all shave with the same razor, Slim Twin disposable. It's got a narrow head. Like Mike. Yeah, so you can shave hard to reach places.
Men prefer it over good news. The Slim Twin disposable from Schick. New Year's Day, the best bowls are on NBC. The Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl pits the Crimson Tide of Alabama, the giant killers of the SEC, against the high-flying Louisville Cardinals. Ride the tide at the Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
Welcome back to Buffalo with Paul McGuire, Marv Albert. Buffalo 14, Miami 7. Early in the third quarter. And Pete Stoyanovich getting set to kick it off to Don Smith and Al Edwards. We received word that Troy Stratford pulled a leg muscle, and he will not return. So Stratford is out the rest of the way. This is Al Edwards. Across the 20. Accelerates. A tremendous run back by Edwards, a rookie from Northwest Louisiana State, an 11th round draft pick. He went for 45, but there is a flag thrown.
It'll be holding against Buffalo back at the 25-yard line. Drive you crazy on kickoff returns, punt returns, all the returns, and you get an excellent return and holding or clipping.
Holding during the run back. Number 94, the receivers. First down at 10.
That's Pike, number 94. All right, it's on Pike, number 94. He's on the right of the screen, and he went out of the frame. He's on the right. There's Pike right there to the right, and he's holding, but there's been worse. There's been worse.
He was relatively holding.
Yeah.
The kicker, Stoyanovich, made the stop on the return man, Edwards. First down from the 19. And Reich completes to the tight end, McKellar. Here's the first down. Hugh Green on the stop of Keith McKellar in his third year out of Jacksonville State. 23-yard advance.
All right, Hugh Green is coming out to cover, but I don't think that's his man. Jarvis Williams, number 26, does not get there. He'll come into the picture, or does he get into the picture? But he was the guy that was behind McKellar, was supposed to be covering him. There's just no way that Hugh Green is going to stay with McKellar.
We mentioned earlier, following practice yesterday, McKellar involved in a skirmish with Bruce Smith. Thurman Thomas, the ball carrier. Again, it's Hugh Green making the stop. The early report, which was denied, was that Smith broke his hand in the process, taking a punch at McKellar. The legend of the bickering Bills had been left in the dust early this season. You recall the problems of a year ago where the players were going at each other. A couple of assistant coaches got into a little duke out, and it had been quiet up until yesterday. Thomas on the delay, and he's hit for a loss.
For golf. But, tensions.
Boys will be boys. Is that what you're indicating here?
Well, a little, yeah, but, you get near the end now. This game is so important. I mean, for Buffalo, they win. They win the AFC East. Home field advantage throughout. I mean, there's a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening.
Can you recall a couple of good ones in your day?
No, just with wives. I mean, guys hitting it, they wouldn't hit each other. They liked each other too much.
All going the sexist route. Third down and 6. Right with the time, and then unload. Don Beebe. Hitting McKyer and Williams on a 44-yard hookup.
This is a 44-yard hookup. Now, offensive line, watch what happens. You have a 3-man rush. Here comes Beebe down across the field. He's getting Jarvis Williams. McKyer's there. This ball is underthrown, number 1. The most important part is that Frank Reich had all day to throw the football. With a 3-man rush, they never got close to him.
Now, Beebe came in with only 8 receptions. That is third of the day. He has the advantage of working regularly in practice with Reich. They're also very good buddies. Here's Thomas picking his way. Works inside the 5. And Beebe and Reich have had success in the past. So Don Beebe is suddenly a prominent receiver with Frank Reich in at quarterback rather than Jim Kelly.
Well, one of the reasons, too, is they were on the practice squads together, and they always threw the ball to Beebe. All right, take a look at Reich. Now, look at the time he has. I mean, you could pick out anybody you want, and then he just sees Beebe, and ball is underthrown because McKyer is way behind it. Jarvis Williams can't get there, and Beebe, total concentration on the ball.
It's a second down and 3. Thurman Thomas has gone over the 100-yard mark, 107 yards.
When you were talking about Frank Reich and Beebe, and he was talking about Beebe, in the game against the Giants when he threw the ball like 3 or 4 in a row to Beebe to get down to get the field goal to give him the winner in the ball game. Reich is talking about Beebe on practice days when they run the other team's offense. Frank Reich and Beebe were on, what do they call them, the scout teams, and he had practice all year long throwing the ball to Beebe, and he's very comfortable throwing it to him.
It is a third down and 2. That's the 3. Right with the look, and it's dropped. James Lofton involved with Louis Oliver. Oliver had the wraps on Lofton. In fact, grabbed his arms, and Lofton could not hang on.
Here's the field goal team coming on, but that time Oliver, I mean, it looked like a tussle, and Lofton only had a chance to get one arm at it. Now look at Reich. He is looking at Lofton the entire way, not looking anywhere else. Lofton's there, with one hand on it. Now Oliver strips him. Now Lofton pushes Oliver. I mean, these guys are too skinny to be hurting you. Get some linemen in there.
And it will be a 21-yard attempt for Scott Norwood, his first field goal attempt of the day, a 4th down and 2, and the Bills go for the field goal. Norwood is 19 for 28 for the season. Make it 20 for 29 as he extends the Buffalo lead with 6:25 remaining in the third.
For naming the Mazda MPV best in class, we'd like to thank Car and Driver. For ranking it the most trouble-free minivan, J.D. Power & Associates. For naming it one of the top 10 import buys, Motor Trend. And for making the Mazda MPV the best-selling import minivan, we'd like to thank the Abbotts, the Ackermans, the Adisheks, the Agarins,
Mazda, it just feels right.
the Altons, the Ammermans, the Andersons.
Jerry comes in every Saturday. Last week he wants copper pipe and solder. Now I know Jerry, so I say don't forget to shine the joints before you flux. And he says flux, so I told him to call me if he hit a snag. I think he called 11 times.
Good service is why people choose a place like Evers Hardware Store, and why places like Evers Hardware choose USF&G Insurance and their independent agents.
USF&G, standing behind me.
Catch the true colors of the season on Kodacolor Gold films.
The ratings gap is shrinking. It's closer than ever. Join the switch to Bob Costas, Will McDonough, and O.J. Simpson. NFL Live on NBC.
The Bills over the Dolphins, 17-7. Miami has been a good come-from-behind club, which you'd expect with Dan Marino at the helm. However, 2 of those comebacks against weaker opposition, New England and the Jets, but an impressive performance against the Philadelphia Eagles several weeks ago. Again, a short kick. Stephon Adams, former Raider and Brown, took that hard hit as he crossed the 25-yard line. And again, the hit by Carwell Gardner. Well, look at the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Philadelphia leading Dallas in the third. Houston with the lead on Cincinnati. Bubby Brister has thrown for 4, and it's Pittsburgh 35-0. Chicago leads Tampa Bay. Atlanta with the lead. Jets trying to end a 5-game losing streak. New England has lost 12 in a row. First down at the 27-yard line. And Marino goes sideline, and it's dropped. Mark Duper could not hang on. He was covered by James Williams.
Darryl Talley is talking to Bruce Smith. They just got drilled on that top side. He's looking for a holding call. Darryl Talley went in, and he just got dropped right in his tracks.
That is the third drop of the day on the Dolphins.
And that's the one thing that makes Marino madder than anything is when he puts the ball on target and you drop the ball, he'll go away from you. He won't come back to you for a while.
Sammy Smith had that hole open and then closed. Leon Seals able to make the stop.
I was talking about Darryl Talley before. The play before this is on the top of the screen. Just take a look at Talley now. He's going to come in and watch the block here. Bang. That's Sammy Smith just hits him, and then they just throw him into the ground. Ulenek just throws him on the ground after Smith drills him in the head.
Third down and 8 from the 29. 5.5 remaining in the third quarter here in Buffalo. The Bills 17. And the Dolphins 7. throws the middle. Incomplete. Intended for James Pruitt.
Well, actually, Clayton was coming across, and Clayton stopped on the play. He thought the ball was being thrown to someone else, so as he was coming across, Talley was with him, and in the middle of the screen, you see 56's Talley right there. Now watch Clayton. Here he is right now. He just turns around and stops.
Pass appeared to be intended for Pruitt, although Clayton, as you mentioned, was in the area. Edwards is back at his 20. It's time the circle route attempted, and Edwards could not make the turn. A 52-yard punt. A good one for Reggie Roby, only a 5-yard return. We'll be back here in Buffalo after these words.
Okay, everybody, listen up.
27 million Americans are illiterate. Albert Davis was one of them.
My dear family, for all these years, I have wanted to write about what you mean to me, but I could not write.
Look for this Coors Light display. Learn how you can help. Teach someone to read.
Today, I can read.
How fast does Dristan nasal spray start working to clear up congestion?
Hey, I didn't expect it to start to work this fast.
Dristan nasal spray starts to work in seconds.
He stirs in the land of dawning. He stirs now in the age of wandering. Now on the trail of beauty, he stirs.
Introducing the new Navajo from Mazda. Motor Trend's 1991 Truck of the Year.
It just feels right. What's this? Bunny slippers?
Of all the last-minute gifts you can buy, one's appreciated more than all the rest.
Wow.
McDonald's gift certificates.
Thanks, Mom. McDonald's for holiday fun. Come on and rescue me.
Rescued from the ratings desert by your cards and calls. Now it's the revenge of How High. Back wetter and wilder on NBC tonight.
A reminder, kick off your night here on NBC with a fast-paced, high energy of Hull High, and then an NBC News special. First person with Maria Shriver as she features USC quarterback Todd Marinovich, two-time Oscar winner Sally Field, and Sex, Lies, and Videotape star Andy McDowell. That's all tonight right here on NBC. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Buffalo, 32 degrees. They expect snow and rain later on. The Bills first down from their 24-yard line. And Frank Reich on the keeper, stopped by Brian Soche.
Will Warford, number 69, against Cross, number 91, and getting some help from McKellar, pushes him out. You know, they not only double-team Bruce Smith, but they also double-team Cross.
Cross has been quiet in recent weeks. Hasn't had a sack for some time. Reed on the completion. Louis Oliver from the free safety position.
One of the few times the Miami Dolphins blitzed, and Reich picks it up and hits Andre Reed, the short pass across. Here comes Offerdahl up inside. You've got Oliver trying to cover Reed short. That's tough duty, and they're going to take a look at this one. I don't measure this to see if it's a first down, but Reich has done a great job in reading the defenses.
And that is his strength. You talked with the defensive coordinator of the Dolphins, Tom Olivedade, and they have great respect for the football knowledge and instincts of Frank Reich. It is the first down for Buffalo.
Just remember the play before, he pulled the ball down, had no one to throw the ball to right away. It was a quick pass that was already covered, so he pulled the ball down, ran, only picked up, what, a half a yard or so. That's okay. Second down. Read the blitz, got Reed coming across the middle. Now, I would imagine they go back to a running play.
Good call, Paul.
Thank you.
Intended for the tight end, Keith McKellar. Covered by the strong safety, Jarvis Williams. Thurman Thomas to the sideline. He's been limping from time to time, and they are checking him out. He's trying to work it off. Kenneth Davis replacing Thurman Thomas in the backfield.
Kenneth Davis has just been a great player for the Buffalo Bills. Here's another guy that knows his role. It's behind Thurman Thomas.
And it's a 2nd and 10. Off the dump off, it is Davis. Stopped by Hugh Green. Kenneth Davis spent 3 years with Green Bay. This is 2nd with Buffalo, signed as a Plan B free agent. Known as I guess you'd call him a north-south type runner. Not much flexibility, but as they say, plays within his limitations, Paul. Something you can relate to.
I can understand that, and you know, every time that I've seen him in a ball game, and you see him in preseason, and he is a north-south runner. There's nothing east and west about him. He just heads for the hole. If it isn't there, he's going to try and make one.
It's a 3rd down and 1. Mueller and Smith have come on for the short yardage situation. And it's picked up by Smith. Don Smith, another strong role player in that Buffalo backfield. Thurman Thomas now checks back in. Smith departs. Clock is running. We're just under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Buffalo with a 17-7 lead on the Dolphins. Touchdown passes from Reich to Lofton, Reich to Reed, and the field goal by Norwood. Marino to Duper for the Miami score on a 30-yard touchdown pass. First down at the 46. Reich able to elude the pressure, and then has to run it out of bounds. We're set for another update. Let's go to Bob and NFL Live.
Marv, an absolutely huge day today in Cincinnati for James Brooks. He lines up in a conventional set, then comes up alongside Boomer Esiason. Houston shuffling their defense to try and react, but they hand the ball almost right off the snap, like a sleight of hand to Brooks. He gallops 40 yards. He has runs of 40, 44, and 56, 164 yards on the day on 10 carries. Houston and Cincinnati tied at 20 in the 3rd.
Thank you, Bob. Here it's a 17-7 Buffalo lead. Clock is running. We're coming up on 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Thomas back to the action, but he's hit for a loss. Hugh Green from the outside linebacker position to make the stop. Now let's check out the rest of the scoreboard. The Hertz 10-minute ticker with Philadelphia in front of Dallas. Bob mentioned Houston and Cincinnati tied at 20. Pittsburgh maintaining the big lead on Cleveland as they look to clinch a wild card. Chicago in front of Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and the LA Rams just playing out the schedule. Same for the Jets and New England. New England headed to 1 up and 14 down.
Saturday.
8th play of the drive, and on the draw is Thomas. So Thurman Thomas collects the first down.
The play before that, they ran Thurman Thomas, try to get him outside off tackle. That didn't work. So let's come back and run it up the middle. This time they go between the guard John Davis, number 65, Ken Hall, and the house Ballard on that side. They go straight ahead this time, eliminate that outside run.
It has been Buffalo in command in this 3rd quarter. And the first down at the 42. Here's Thomas off the delay. He broke a tackle and has another first down. McKyer made the stop. Thurman Thomas going for another 12.
Well, we got an injured Bill. One of the wide receivers on the outside is down about the 35-yard line. That's Beebe.
He took a hit earlier. Took a shot in the head in the 1st quarter, then able to make his return. Don Beebe out of Chadron State in Nebraska. A 3rd-round draft pick last year.
Beebe's coming in and trying to make a block at number 82. Watch right here. Now here's Beebe. He's setting up the block. And then as Offerdahl goes through the tackle, he catches Beebe right in the knee, in his left knee with his helmet, his shoulder. And that's when Beebe went down. He's on the top. Offerdahl's a linebacker. Will work his way to the outside. Up on the top is Beebe blocking. He does not see Offerdahl. Watch his left leg. Right there, he just caves his knee in. You know, we're talking about the things that happen in freak accidents with knee injuries. You look at Kelly. What was it last week? Jim Richard hits Johnson, hits him into Wolford. Wolford gets knocked back into Kelly. Both guys go down. That's a freak accident, Kelly's knee injury. And here we see again, here's Beebe downfield blocking a defensive back. And from the side, never sees it coming. And Offerdahl, wasn't intentional.
Yes, last week, Will Wolford was pushed back into Jim Kelly, leading to the sprained left knee.
Get on the offense. Anyway, Buffalo Bills check.
And this is the tail end of the play, and see the pain on the face of wide receiver Don Beebe. Oh. 21 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Buffalo with a 17-7 lead on Miami. I'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Jets and New England, with the Jets leading the New England Patriots by the score of 35-7. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Ritz Stadium in Buffalo. The Bills in front of the Miami Dolphins by the score of 17-7. As you join us, you see Don Beebe, the Buffalo Bills wide receiver who went down a moment ago, took the shot from behind by the Dolphins' John Offerdahl, and they are very gingerly raising Beebe, and they will look to take him back to the locker room.
All right, here it comes. If we're freezing right here, here's Offerdahl's head and shoulder hitting Beebe right in the left leg, and Beebe never sees him coming. And look, you can just see the leg buckle to the inside. I mean, and then you saw the face of Beebe just moments ago. They are going to cart him off, and we'll get word to you as soon as possible.
And for those of you who have just joined us, recapping, Reich has thrown 2 touchdown passes to Lofton and to Reed for a 14-0 lead. Don Beebe hears it from the crowd as he departs. Marino and Duper combined on a 30-yard touchdown strike. That cut it to 14-7 Buffalo. And Norwood hit from 21 yards away to extend to a 17-7 lead. We're down to 21 seconds left in the third quarter. Al Edwards has come on, replacing the injured Don Beebe. Miami Dolphins come in with a record of 11-3, and the Buffalo Bills at 12-2. A Buffalo win would clinch the division championship for the Bills and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They would get a first-round bye in the expanded playoffs. Miami must beat the Bills to have a chance to win the division title. Then they'd have to win next week against the Colts. Time has run out here in the third quarter. It's the Bills 17 and the Dolphins 7. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Beau Bridges is giving Richard Mulligan's hometown a Christmas they'll never forget.
The best holiday ever!
Guess who's coming for Christmas on NBC tonight?
Show a special person in your life how much you care. Express the tender messages of love, caring, and sharing through the UNESCO Precious Moments collection at Kay's Cards and Gifts. These delicate porcelain figurines speak directly from one heart to another and will touch the hearts of friends and loved ones for many years to come. You'll find a wonderful selection of precious moments, fine collectibles at Kay's Cards and Gifts. We welcome you to visit our store at Hillcrest Plaza and Mountain Home to share the beauty of the Precious Moments collection.
and the finest car audio equipment at Idaho's largest Alpine dealer, Music West, on the Boulevard in Nampa.
After 44 years, it's Joe Robinson's retirement sale at Sexty's Jewelers. Now, the final reductions, 45 to 65% off at Sexty's.
You know, the one thing that's so great about NBC weather and Channel 7 weather is that we have so much in common. I mean, I'm short.
And I'm tall.
I'm skinny.
And I'm...
and I have my hair.
And I had my hair.
I guess the thing we have in common is the weather.
We love the weather.
Happy holidays from all of us at Idaho's News Channel.
For the city of Buffalo, this is the biggest sports event since the American Football League Championships of 1964 and 1966. 64, Buffalo beat San Diego to win the AFL title. 66, the Bills lost to Kansas City. And then Kansas City went on to play in the first ever Super Bowl. Thurman Thomas to the outside on first down as we get underway in the fourth quarter. Hugh Green made the stop. Let's take a look back at the scoring in the second quarter. Was Reich to Lofton on a 7-yard touchdown pass, 7-0 Buffalo. And then in the third quarter, look at the move by Andre Reed, and he's able to make the reception, a 5-yard pass play. Here's Thurman Thomas. Thomas looking for the first down in the third quarter. Later on in the quarter, Duper in that battle and able to hold on the bobble to cut it to 14-7. And Scott Norwood connected from 21 yards away for the 17-7 score. So the Buffalo Bills pick up the first down from the 18-yard line. Lone deep back is Thomas. Once again, the Dolphins are having their difficulty making tackles. We saw it for a while in the third quarter, and we saw it several weeks ago against the Washington Redskins.
And you look at the possession time again, as many times as we talked about this, is what you do with the possession time. The Bills obviously scored 10 points, and the Dolphins in that 2:23 scored 7.
141 yards, 29 carries for Thomas. Second down and 5. Thomas again. Broke a tackle for the touchdown. With his 11th rushing touchdown, his 13th touchdown overall, he has now gone for 154 yards on the ground.
We showed it in the first half. The one thing about Thurman Thomas is that, you know, his legs never stop. He just keeps moving. He bounces off of people. He can run just as well left to right as he can straight ahead.
Reich puts it down for Norwood. Buffalo Bills with a 24-7 lead on the Miami Dolphins with 2 minutes gone by in the fourth.
Seems to me a new car warranty should cover the entire car for many miles. Now take Ford Taurus. Its basic warranty ends at just 12,000 miles. But the basic warranty on the new Cutlass Supreme goes a bit farther. Like from New York to L.A., back to New York to L.A., 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 to New York. Plus a trip to Anchorage, Alaska. Cutlass Supreme with its bumper-to-bumper plus warranty. Here's one car that does it all and does it right. Hey, Dad.
This is the new generation of old.
You've heard all about cold relief. Now you're going to hear about hot relief. New Tylenol Cold and Flu. With more medicine than any other hot liquid flu formula. Heat releases the power of this lemony medicine with 3 cold and flu fighters for your coughing, sneezing, and congestion. Plus Tylenol pain reliever for your fever, sore throat, aches, and pains. New Tylenol Cold and Flu. Part of Tylenol's complete cold relief line. Nobody cares for your cold like Tylenol Cold.
In Killarney, legend says take a deep breath after it rains and that fresh, clean feeling will last the rest of your journey. There's a bit of this in every bar of Irish Spring. Ah, the Lofton fresh scent of Irish Spring. The Irish never quit.
Question. How can Americans save 4.2 million gallons of gasoline a day? By properly inflating your tires. Let's put our energy into saving it.
Well, Thurman Thomas has had a sensational day. He just scored from 13 yards away. And his Buffalo Bills now lead the Miami Dolphins by the count of 24-7, 154 yards for Thurman Thomas.
Only carried the ball 30 times. He's got another 10 left in him.
Some confusion on the kickoff return. Stephon Adams finally picked it up.
When the Dolphins were returning the ball in the third quarter, the Bills were kicking into the wind. This time they let the kickoff go over their heads. Another mental error.
And Adams is back there with Logan because Troy Stratford is out for the rest of the game with that pulled muscle. Miami starts out from its 6. This is the worst starting field position of the day. Sammy Smith and Tony Page are the running backs. Marino with the time, but he could not find anyone. Second sack of the day for the Bills. Shane Conlon will get credit.
Marino had a notion he was going to run with the ball, but Shane Conlon happened to be standing right in his face. Marino goes back. When Marino goes back to pass, look at the hole opens up to the side. Everybody's covered downfield, no place to throw the ball. So when he steps up, there's Shane Collins sitting in his face. That's another sack.
Second and 11 from the 5. And Marino able to complete to Duper. The coverage by Nate Odoms picked up 10 on the play. Dan Marino telling us yesterday this is not one of his favorite places to play. He puts this alongside RFK in Washington and Minnesota because of the dome at the Metrodome and all the noise that is made. He's had some difficulties today, and he's gone to the hand signals upon occasion if he's had to change the call at the line.
And the Bills believe in the 12th man. Of course, there's 80,000 of them.
It's a 3rd down and 2 from the 14. The Dolphins have the first down. Clayton is pushed back the other way. Leon Seals leading the assault. Mark Clayton making his return today, coming off IR, reactivated. He has 6 catches, 78 yards.
They're going in to hurry up. Leon Seals gets a little excited, but didn't realize that Clayton already had the first down.
Only the second first down of the second half for Miami. The Bills have given up the short stuff. Tony Martin took the hit from Darryl Talley.
That's what you call coming to a screeching halt. Tony Martin caught the ball, just stopped right there as soon as Talley hit him. There was no place to go.
Second down and 4 at the 26. 4 minutes into the 4th quarter.
Smith's offside.
Smith coming quickly, and Marino has a free play and has a first down. James Pruitt making his first catch of the afternoon. Leonard Smith, David Poole combined for the tackle.
Bruce Smith again wants Webb called for, but it's offside. Bruce Smith.
That will go as a pickup of 18.
You know, it gets a little bit frustrating because, I mean, he's going for the sack roll. Here comes Smith. Now, is Webb moving? The Webb doesn't move. And there's Smith. He's way outside. Not only is he outside, but he runs by Marino trying to get to that record.
Yes, he's been blank to this point in terms of sacks. The pressures, though, have been right on. Smith has 19 sacks to lead the NFL. And off the dump-off, Jim Jensen has a first down. Stopped by David Poole. That's a pickup of 11.
You know, Richmond Webb, now here's a rookie that made the Pro Bowl this year and playing against defensive ends. But here's Webb, 78 on Smith, 78, and he handles Bruce Smith.
First down at the Buffalo 44. And that is incomplete. Duper slipped on the play. He was covered by Leonard Smith.
This almost stuck this one in his eye. He slips, and watch where this ball hits him right in the head. Here it comes. Bing. That'll hurt your lips, man. He gets hit right in the mouth with the ball.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 at the 44.
Watch this. Here it comes. Hello. Oh. We're a pass out there after this.
10:06 remaining, 4th quarter. Marino set up the screen. It was broken up. Bruce Smith got a piece of it. The pass intended for Jim Jensen.
Well, the Bills put in a defensive lineman, Mike Lodich, number 73, and he was on his way to Marino, and Smith is playing the screen. Here he is on Sims right here, number 78. Webb helps out. Lodich goes around. Now watch Smith. He sees the screen, sees Jensen coming in, and gets his hand on the ball. Almost makes the interception. It's all over the place.
Bruce Smith, man who can single-handedly dominate a game. That has not been the case here today, although he has come up strong. 3rd and 10 at the 44. Marino goes down for the 3rd time. Mike Lodich, the rookie from UCLA, collects his 2nd sack of the season.
Lodich, now there's going to be a deal. Bruce Smith's going to go inside, and watch Lodich. He sneaks between Webb and Sims. Nobody comes out to block him. Sims doesn't stay with him. Lodich makes the sack. Excellent play by a team defense.
And that's a very high total. 3 sacks of Dan Marino. The punt by Roby. Edwards let it bounce. Coming into this afternoon, Marino had been sacked only 12 times, and Buffalo's gotten it on 3 occasions. 47-yard punt. We'll be back after these words.
At Northwest, a free flight is as easy as 1, 2, 3. The more you fly, the better it gets. Earn free flights to terrific sites. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. For details, call Northwest or your travel agent today. Important conditions apply.
My grandfather loved the unknown. I want a sure thing. I drive a new kind of Oldsmobile, the all-new Bravada. Perfect for this jungle because it's got Smart Trap, a new anti-lock braking and all-wheel drive system that automatically sends power to the wheel that needs it. So I'm ready for the unexpected, whether I'm traveling across the river and into the trees,
or just visiting your old man in the sea.
Bravada, engineered for the unexpected. This is no night for weak batteries.
Got enough energy to pull us through, Rudolph?
That's why you should test all your batteries with a new copper top tester. A little present. Only from Duracell.
Tots, the premium choice.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Oldsmobile. Stop by your Oldsmobile dealer and see what's new from the new generation of Olds. By Northwest Airlines. Northwest's World Perks free travel program lets you fly free fast. By Tylenol Cold. Nobody cares for your cold like Tylenol Cold. And by Zenith. The quality goes in before the name goes on.
Welcome back to Buffalo, New York on a cool, crisp day. The temperature now at 31 degrees. Paul, you're still telling me you're not cold. Meanwhile,
there's half a Bentley.
We should explain that. Ray Bentley provides the Alice Cooper look with the eye black.
Kenneth Davis carry.
Kenneth Davis stopped by Carl Wilson. Bob Costas all set to provide an update. Let's go to our studios in New York.
Marv, the Bengals are doing it on the ground. James Brooks closing in on 200 yards. And here's Ickey Woods, his second one-yard scoring run in the fourth. Cincinnati 27 and Houston 20. Marv, very impressive rock and roll reference, throwing in Alice Cooper. Let's go back to our motley crew in Buffalo.
Oh, that Bob, the clever turning of the phrases.
I know, he's in the Christmas spirit, isn't he?
Second down and 7 from the 13. 8:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Again, it's Davis.
Kenneth Davis carry.
He is short of the first down. Cliff Odom able to get him out of bounds. Earlier we talked of Buffalo's right tackle, Howard. House Ballard goes 6'6" in the area of 315. Howard with a generous gesture a couple of weeks back. He wears size 15 shoes. It's a large size, Paul, as you know. He had heard of a local high school football player who could not locate size 15 shoes. And turned out that stores in the area did not carry that size. So Howard gave the young man several pairs of his shoes. What a guy.
Really nice. I mean, and they were new shoes, too, not us old worn-out guys.
House at right tackle. Ballard and Wolford on the tackles. Richer and Davis on the guards. Hull at center.
Delay game against Buffalo. Motley Crue, Costas calls it.
Yes.
You know, he's the only guy that I know of that when he puts lights on his tree, you know the bottom layer? He needs a ladder. Just the one near the stand.
Oh, you are brutal.
Oh, I love it, you guy.
It is a third down and 8.
Hope he gets all the toys he wants for Christmas.
From the 12. Just under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Buffalo leading Miami 24-7. Right complete for the first down. Andre Reed with his fourth catch of the day. John Offerdahl making the stop.
Just can't say enough about how Frank Reich has been able to read the defenses. Andre Reed, look, it's just a short pass play. When you're playing that far off of Andre Reed and Offerdahl comes up to make the play, Oliver, number 25, never got up to Reed. And if you take a look at, he leads the American Football Conference as far as reception is concerned. Andre going to the Pro Bowl. But I can tell you that almost 80% of his passes are 10 yards or less, and all the yardage he tacks on afterwards.
71 catches for the season now for Reed. First down at the 31. 7 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. Kenneth Davis on the slant to the left, met by the defensive end Carl Wilson. T.J. Turner, usually the left defensive end starter, a scratch today on the inactive list because of a knee injury. So Wilson and Soche have been filling in. It is a second down and 7 at the 34. Buffalo Bills seeking a club record 13th win. They were 12-2 back in '64. They were 12 up, 4 down in 1988. While the Dolphins come in at 11 up and 3 down. And if Buffalo can hang on and come away with this victory, and it would take quite a turn for the Dolphins to pull this one out, Buffalo will win the AFC East and a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Good second effort by Davis, refusing to go down.
This is why Kenneth Davis has added so much to this football team, because he's the same as Thurman Thomas. Continuous effort. His legs never stop. Kelly says they're a little bit short. I don't know. Watch Kenneth Davis. Now here's where it slows down right here. But watch what he does. His legs never stop. He's driving forward, and he picks up another 2 yards.
They have called for the yardsticks.
Well, he was wrong. See? Don't listen to quarterbacks all the time. You know the important thing about Reich, though? He's been a starter, what, 4 times since last year? Could be 4-0. Why Jim Kelly?
A little early celebration by a happy group of Buffalo Bills. Frank Reich as a starter last year, taking over for Jim Kelly, 3-0. This is first start of the 90 season. Buffalo has been in command, as you just saw, and they are just looking to run that clock down. First down play, Davis running well. Kenneth Davis in his 5th year out of Texas Christian, stopped by Cliff Odom.
Miami, if, and it in all likelihood will happen, lose this football game, that means they're going to have to play in a wild card ball game. They better get back and regroup defensively as far as defense against the run. I mean, they're not bad against the pass, but against the run, they've just been moving the ball, and we've been watching all through the end of the season. Teams have just moving the ball up and down the field on the Dolphins, running the football.
Well, for those of you who were watching New England and the Jets, it is now 42-7 Jets, as the Jets hope to end the 5-game losing streak, and obviously will. Kenneth Davis.
Kenneth Davis carries.
On a 2nd and 7, let's sweep around the scoreboard. It's Philadelphia with a 10-3 lead on Dallas. Cincinnati now in front of Houston on an Ickey Woods 1-yard run for a touchdown. Bubby Brister has thrown 4 for Pittsburgh, and they're about to clinch a playoff spot. Chicago on top, Atlanta 2013 over the Rams, and the Jets on a 5-yard run by 3rd-string quarterback Troy Taylor have extended to 42-7 on 1-13 New England. The Patriots have lost their last 12. 8th play of the drive. It's a 3rd down and 4 from the 47. And Davis able to break a tackle, trying to make the turn, but he's short of the 1st down. Jeff Cross, who has been very quiet this afternoon, getting credit for the tackle. Here's Don Shula, the NFL's winningest active coach, second only to George Halas, but he has had a very long day here on the sideline. 3:39 remaining, 4th quarter. We'll be right back.
Walk into a television showroom, and someone will probably try to sell you a set with a foreign name on it. Before you see their choice, ask to see yours. Ask to see the first TVs that combine digital video and audio with a performance to back it up. Ask for picture-in-picture with triple flashback. Ask for a single remote that can learn to run everything. Ask to see a Zenith. For true innovation in television, quality never looked more like a Zenith.
How fast does Dristan nasal spray start working to clear up congestion?
Hey, I didn't expect it to start to work this fast.
Dristan nasal spray starts to work in seconds.
There is a better battery. The Napa legend, the better battery.
My dad knows all about space vehicles. He directed me to the new Oldsmobile Silhouette. Its looks are stellar.
And the interior is perfect for the enterprising family.
The modular seats pull out easily. There's a place for everything.
Compared to other forms of space travel, Silhouette is the logical choice. Right, Dad?
Eminently logical.
Silhouette, travel in space and style.
Happy holidays from Buffalo, and in light that this is the Christmas season,
certainly is.
We have a couple of nice things for Bob Costas back at NFL Live. What do you have there, Paul?
I went out and got him a tuxedo for, I know New Year's he's going to be in Buffalo here, so Bobby, we got you a tuxedo, and it'll be real nice. You'll like this one.
And I know Bob plays a lot of basketball in his driveway, so we got him a brand new pair of sneakers.
Boy, Merry Christmas, Bobby.
Bob, from us to you.
Thanks, bud.
Tony Martin on the fair catch. A 44-yard punt. It's 3:32 left now in the fourth. Let's go to our pal Bob.
What a misnomer, oh marvelous one. The Jets now with a 42-7 lead over the truly pitiful New England Patriots, who have now lost 13 in a row or will shortly. Here's the rookie quarterback Troy Taylor rolling in on the 5-yard run and a 35-point Jet lead. Marv?
Paul, what do you think he meant by that?
I have no idea.
First down from the 12-yard line. Jensen on the completion out of the 19 is stopped by Talley. Jim Kelly has been working the sideline pretty aggressively.
You know, we talked to Jim. I talked to him yesterday in the hallway, and I said, Jimmy, are you going to be sending the signals in to Frank Reich? He said, I'll leave that up to Gail Gilbert. I'll be too nervous.
Second down and 3. And the Dolphins have the first down. Again, Jensen on the reception. Stopped by Talley. So the Buffalo Bills on their way to clinching the division championship. That'll be 3 in a row for the Bills. Home field advantage, which is of prime importance. It is deflected. Nearly picked off. Cornelius Bennett had a shot that was intended for Mark Clayton.
He did after he almost had the ball. He jumped up. I mean, this could hurt. Number 97, Cornelius Bennett. Biscuit, watch this. He gets hit in the head, but he jumps up and falls on the ground.
I thought it was kind of a Pele move myself.
It really was. It was beautiful. All right. Cornelius tips the ball, and then he just jumps up in the air.
Second and 10 from the 26. Pruitt on a 21-yard hookup stopped by Clifford and Hicks. A Buffalo win clinches the division. Home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So the Bills on their way to receiving a first-round bye in the expanded playoff setup. Penalty marker is down. The diving catch made by Pruitt. It is ruled incomplete. He scooped it up. But let's see what the call is.
We got offside against the Bills again.
A look at what the Bills are about to accomplish. They come off the solid victory over the Giants last week for the Bills, one of the most inspired games of the season, losing Jim Kelly in the process. But the feeling is that Kelly will be out about 3 to 4 weeks. He'll practice in 3 weeks, play in 4, and then he'd be back for the Bills' first playoff game, which would be the divisional playoff.
And that's talking to the Buffalo Bills, the coaching staff, and everybody involved. That's the most important part with Kelly right now is the fact that he can get back for the playoffs, but that week off, that's why they needed to win a division here.
Penalty marker down again on that 1st and 5. Right, here's Red Cashin.
Lined up in a neutral zone again. The Buffalo Bills offside again. 2 in a row gives them a first down. Miami.
So it is a first down at the 42. Ray Bentley. And you can see that Alice Cooper look. And Marino almost intercepted by Leonard Smith. Pass intended for Jim Jensen. Andre Reed, who caught a touchdown earlier.
This pass looked like it was intended for Leonard Smith. I mean, he's going down. Clayton is running downfield also, but watch where Marino throws the ball. Right into the hands of Leonard Smith, and he drops it. Scared him.
Leonard Smith in his 8th year out of McNeese State, one of the harder hitters. Took a shot at himself.
Yeah, well, he can't hit anybody.
Marino 21 for 37, 250 yards. The Dolphins have not gotten it done. He's been sacked 3 times, intercepted once. Goes sideline. Mark Duper. But he caught it out of bounds. It'll be a 3rd down play coming up. Well, for a little excitement on Christmas Day, check us out. Starting 3 o'clock Eastern Time, the Detroit Pistons, the defending NBA champs, go against Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Into the NBA basketball and NBA Showtime starting at 3 with Pat Riley and a fellow by the name of Bob Costas, who might be able to put those sneakers to good use.
Hey, I know Bobby. He'll wear them.
It's a 3rd down and 10. And Marino just shovels it. He was in trouble. He avoided the sack. Pass was thrown in the area of Jim Jensen.
Cornelius Bennett was all over him, and that was a legal pass.
Minute 53 to go in this 4th quarter. We'll be back after this timeout.
In time, all definitions must be revised. But when it came to redefining luxury, it wasn't a Webster, it was Oldsmobile, the all-new 98. Now you can have anti-lock brakes, fuel-efficient power, computerized suspension, technology found in cars costing thousands more, which by my definition could be the greatest luxury of all. And you can always take a Webster at his word.
This is the new 98. Luxury redefined. Generation of Olds.
Got a painful cold? Alka-Seltzer Plus relieves painful cold symptoms some others miss.
Everything feels better, better, better.
Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Relief for your painful cold.
Kindergarten Cop gets straight A's, says Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. And Jeffrey Lyons of Sneak Previews calls it hilarious, endearing, and enormously entertaining. Kindergarten Cop, rated PG-13. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Isaiah, Air. A special Christmas Day presentation of the NBA on NBC.
Stuff that in your stocking.
Capacity crowd of 80,290, and I would venture to say that just about everyone has stayed. They want to celebrate when the final gun sounds and the Buffalo Bills officially win their 3rd straight AFC East title.
Look, when you look at the exits, I mean, they're standing in the hallways and the exits. These people have not left. And you think they're not going to party here?
Bills continue their undefeated play at home. They will make it 8 out of 8. The AFC's only undefeated home club. And Marino throws on 4th down and almost picked off. Again intended for Pruitt. John Hagee had a shot at it. Thanks to our spotters, Michael Gluck, Steve Solomon. Penalty marker is down. And we appreciate the stat work of Carrie Haller and Larry Pollock. Our producer, Glenn Adamo. Director, John McDonough. Well, today's Ronald McDonald Children's Charities Player of the Game is Buffalo quarterback Frank Reich. McDonald's and NBC will donate $5,000 on behalf of all the players selected in today's games to Ronald McDonald Children's Charities to help give kids a better tomorrow. Reich, 15 for 21, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns as he stepped in for the injured Jim Kelly in glorious fashion. Thurman Thomas also a huge day, 154 yards. On the ground, Jensen on the completion, stopped by Darryl Talley. Well, the executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. The coordinating producer of NBC's football, John Ferrazis. Today's game has been produced by Glenn Adamo And there you see another hookup through it. On the reception, John McDonough, our director. Associate Director Doug Gravert. Production Associate Jenny Huber. Technical Manager Art Parker. Production Managers Ralph McFarland, Tim DeKime, and Technical Director Jimmy Johnson. Thanks to all those folks and a cast of thousands. As we wish you a happy holiday from Western New York, from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Time running down. 1:08 left in this fourth quarter.
Well, Red Cash is saying Miami took their second time out. It should read 1:13. They will put 5 seconds back onto the clock. And the reason, if you were enthralled with everything that was going on, there was on fourth down an incompleted pass. The Buffalo Bills were offside. Gave the Miami Dolphins another chance on fourth down. They completed it for a first down to Jensen, and they now have the ball just inside the 11-yard line. But the score is 24-7. Do a great job with names. You know that? Sure, let you read that. That's terrific.
Thanks so much, Paul. Unaccustomed as I am to your compliments.
I know, you know, there's only a few things I usually compliment you on, and that's one of the great things that you do.
And they have readjusted the clock. 1:13 remaining. Dan Marino changing the play at the line. Goes incomplete, intended for Clayton, covered by Hicks. Next week, the Dolphins will close at home against Indianapolis. They won at Indianapolis back in week 7 by the score of 27-7. And next Sunday, in the final game of the regular season for Buffalo, they will conclude against the Redskins at RFK in Washington, and then get the bye in the first round of the playoffs and prepare for the divisional playoff meeting. Next Saturday, good one, Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. Will be there, yes. Soldier Field in Chicago.
Weather will not be a factor there either.
Yeah. And that'll start at 12 noon Eastern time. Bob Costas hosting NFL Live. Marino throwing, touchdown. It is Mark Clayton on the reception. So Mark Clayton making his return today in a big way. That's his 3rd touchdown of the season. And Marino is running out to the outside. Everybody's kind of relaxed, and here's Clayton. He bobbles the ball, but then makes the catch, gets down in bounds in the end zone. That's touchdown. There's still a minute to go in this ball game. One of the most exciting plays in football, as far as I'm concerned, is the onside kick, and that we're going to see in just a few moments. And for Clayton, 7 receptions, 89 yards. Here's Pete Stoyanovich with 1 minute remaining in this fourth quarter. The Buffalo Bills now leading the Miami Dolphins by the score of 24-14. And the Buffalo Bills preparing for the possibility of the onside kick.
All right, right here, here's Clayton, and what he's going to do is he's going to come down in here and then come back into the end zone. Marino will roll back to the outside and then hit him right here for the touchdown. Clayton comes inside, sees Marino rolling out, rolls back to the outside, and there he is, touchdown. Nice play, a little late.
Well, that is our lineup coming up tonight. Whole High, followed by the NBC News special, hosted by Maria Shriver. And then Guess Who's Coming for Christmas? Tonight, right here on NBC. Down to 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. Buffalo Bills headed to a record of 13-2. Their 2 losses took place at Houston and at Miami. And the Dolphins will drop to 11-4, but it's been a terrific turnaround season for Miami. They were alive for the playoffs down the stretch last year, then lost 4 out of the last 5, and not too many folks thought that they would have a record of 11-4 at this point.
I think they surprised themselves with it.
And the onside kick is covered up by the Buffalo Bills. Steve Tasker, one of the superb special team performers in the league, showing his quickness and getting to it.
Now, see, one of the things, just to explain here, is Tasker gets the ball at about the 40-yard line. Now, the Dolphins, they can't touch the ball until it goes at least 10 yards. But the receiving team can touch it anytime. Now, if Tasker did not catch the ball, by touching it, the Dolphins could have recovered the ball. But they could not recover the ball until it went at least 10 yards.
They continue to celebrate here in Buffalo. And the Bills will just run it out from the Miami 40-yard line. 59 seconds remaining. Harold Talley, part of the celebration on the sideline. Frank Reich is holding on to the football. So the understudy, Frank Reich, nice move by Andre Reed and Leonard Smith. The understudy, Frank Reich, steps in for Jim Kelly. He was the one question mark going into today. The combination of Reich and Thurman Thomas putting the Bills in command from the start. And they go on to defeat the Miami Dolphins. That'll do it. The clock running down, and they are now officially celebrating the AFC East Championship here in Buffalo. For the Bills, it is a club record 13th victory. 13-2. They were 12-2 back in '64. They won 12 and lost 4 in '88. Marv Levy and his Buffalo Bills defeat the Miami Dolphins by the score of 24-14. Frank Reich throwing for 2 touchdowns. And Thurman Thomas 154 yards on the ground. And look at this scene here at Rich Stadium.
Yeah, well, see, they brought the horses in so they keep the fans off the field. And it really has done the job. These fans are going to beat up the horses. You better get those horses out of there. They want the goalposts.
Please stay off the field.
You seen any horses lately? I love this. They were telling us we don't have to worry about crowd control. We've got the horses coming in. Well, I'll tell you what. Better get those horses out of there. Look at it. There's the horses. There you guys say, get my horse.
Well, the only hope is that no one gets hurt. They are actually, they had no choice. They're letting them go, Paul.
Well, those goalposts are like, what, $8,000 a piece?
Paul, looking at it from the economic point of view. Final score, the Bills take the AFC East by beating Miami 24-14. We'll be back in just a moment.
And I've always loved grape nut cereal. I tried it once or twice.
I said you gotta try it with breakfast for at least a week. Get to know it. That good nutty taste. And, well, it's packed with complex carbohydrates. It's a natural energy source. It'll help keep you going.
So I did it. And I do feel great. Now I love it more than she does.
No way.
Breakfast with Post Grape Nuts helps keep you going strong all morning long.
You gotta try it for a week yourself.
Reggie, Lewis, roller coaster jam. Lewis, around the world jam. Reggie, reverse jam.
That's reverse jam.
That's Reggie, Lewis.
Lady Stetson.
A declaration of independence. Wear it.
Dear USA, there is a city where marketplaces are full of wonders, where giants play, troubadours entertain, and elves and dragons dance together. A magical city where the friends you make are friends for life. It's Barcelona. It's in Spain.
A wild scene in Buffalo. They continue to celebrate as the Bills defeat the Dolphins 24-14. The Bills win the AFC East, and they get a bye in the playoffs in the first round. And the Buffalo Bills are loving it. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire saying so long from Rich Stadium in Buffalo.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
What's Christmas without a little family?
They're nothing but a bunch of gangsters.
Kill him. Coming Christmas Day to NBC, A Godfather's Revenge, Tuesday.
After 44 years, it's Joe Robinson's retirement sale at Sexty's Jewelers. Now, the final reductions, 45 to 65% off at Sexty's.
Accepting the responsibility to inform, instruct, and investigate the concerns of the community is why KTVB feels the need to explore some topics in greater depth. Topics that are of interest and importance to people. People that take pride in the area in which they live. From the environment to education to our centennial year, KTVB and the other companies that form Companies That Care will bring special programs on significant topical issues to the people of Idaho.
I've watched Carolyn report over the years, and every story she tackles, she takes an approach that I think is uniquely Carolyn.
With Carolyn and Bob Holland on at night, it's a great balance.
We have a great deal of trust in her. We can count on Carolyn to get a story when she goes out in the field, and we can count on her as an anchor.
Carolyn knows news. What more can I say? What more should I say?
This is KTVB, Channel 7 in Boise, Idaho's news channel.
Folks, as you can see, it's highly unlikely that we'll be getting to O.J. Simpson for a sideline report. The juice has been engulfed, I'm guessing, in this wave of humanity as Buffalo fans celebrate in their fashion the 24-14 win over Miami that not only clinches the AFC East, but ensures Buffalo of home field advantage throughout the playoffs and a first-round bye. And Jim Kelly says that his injury is progressing a bit more quickly than they had hoped at first, so it's possible that he'll be back for the first playoff game they're involved in, which would be the weekend of January 12th and 13th in the divisional round. But Frank Reich filled in very capably today as Buffalo won it 24-14. We welcome those of you who watched that game. Bob Costas along with Will McDonough, and let's move on to the scoreboard. As you see in the game you just finished watching, Buffalo with the victory, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Philadelphia has defeated Dallas. The final score in this one is 17-3. Philadelphia has cinched a wild card. They did that previously in the NFC. They take their record now to 9-6. Their objective is to win next week, in which case they would have home field advantage against the Redskins in one of the wild card games. Dallas still has a shot at the last remaining wild card, but they didn't do themselves any favors by losing today. Their 4-game winning streak comes to an end. Their record goes to 7-8, and they lost their starting quarterback Troy Aikman with a separated right shoulder, and the veteran journeyman Babe Loffenberg had to finish the ball game up. The Eagles win by 2 touchdowns. Houston is playing at Cincinnati. James Brooks with an enormous day, better than 200 yards rushing, and the Bengals are winning this one late in the fourth quarter, 40-20. Here's Warren Moon off the near record-setting performance, throwing for 527 yards last week at Kansas City. Good start for him. Haywood Jeffries makes the outstretched catch 21-yard TD. Moon's 33rd touchdown pass of the year leads the league, and at that point it was 10-0 in favor of the Oilers. But soon the Bengals came back, and Brooks led the way. He had 3 runs of 40 yards or better, including this 56-yard touchdown, which tied it at 13 in the second quarter. Then in the third quarter, the trick play. He lines up in a standard set, then comes up close to Esiason at the line of scrimmage. Houston is confused. He breaks it for 40 yards. It sets up a subsequent Cincinnati touchdown scored by Stanford Jennings. And that tied it again at 20-20. Now here's the go-ahead touchdown. Ickey Woods vaults over the top. His second 1-yard scoring run of the day, an opportunity for the shuffle, very briefly there for the Ixter. And then it was Esiason to the air. He throws 2 touchdown passes to Eric Kattis in the fourth quarter, 16 and then 22 yards. They missed the point after following one of them, which scarcely matters. The Bengals prevail here, 40-20. Houston will not be eliminated in the chase for a playoff position, but Cincinnati is in good shape. And Cincinnati, if they beat Cleveland next week, and the way the Browns are playing, that seems like a foregone conclusion. Cincinnati would be the champions of the AFC Central if the Oilers, playing at home next week, defeat Pittsburgh, coupled with a Bengal win against the Browns. And we're back with more right after this as the post-game show continues.
Hey, I'm a businessman. I want to fly in business class. Who wouldn't want to fly in business class? So why does it seem like there's never a business class flight when I want one? Answer that one, will you?
TWA has nearly 3 times as many domestic flights with business class as all other airlines combined.
Amazing. It's like they read my mind.
TWA's business class. We did it first. We do it better.
Got a painful cold? Gotta get relief? Get Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. It relieves painful cold symptoms some others miss with a decongestant, antihistamine, and a pain reliever you can't find in any other leading cold medicine.
The pain's gone.
Ah, I can breathe.
Everything feels better, better, better.
Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Relief for your painful cold. And now for sinus and allergy relief, try new Alka-Seltzer Plus sinus allergy medicine.
Okay, rolling right along here. Pittsburgh had a 35-0 halftime lead at home, and they held it right there to beat the Browns 35-0. Not highlights, all lowlights for Jim Schaffner's Browns. They fumbled 10 times and lost a record-tying 8 of those fumbles. In fact, they fumbled on each of their first 3 snaps of the game. That was the first one. Mike Pagel filling in for the injured Bernie Kosar coughs it up. Bubby Brister immediately capitalizes, 20 yards to Mike Malarkey. Brister threw 3 first-quarter touchdown passes and 4 of them in the first half. Here's the next play. Eric Metcalf, who lost 3 fumbles today, has the ball jarred loose. Pittsburgh again has it. They scored right after that. Then it was Kevin Mack's turn. He's the culprit on this one. Pittsburgh lands on it. Metcalf again. This would be the opening kickoff of the third quarter. He goes into a pile of people and loses it. It's a comedy of errors, but not funny from the standpoint of the Cleveland Browns or their owner, Art Modell. It has just been a devastating season. Personally devastating for Art Modell, the way everything has gone and having to fire Bud Carson and whatnot. That was Reggie Langhorne, by the way, who fumbled the last time. And Pittsburgh goes on to win it 35-0. They've won 3 in a row. Their record is 9-6, and they hold their fate in their own hands. If they win next week in Houston, they are the champions of the AFC Central. Chicago is the winner, 27-14 at home today at Soldier Field. Mike Tomczak filling in very capably for Jim Harbaugh, throws 2 touchdown passes and runs for a TD. Tampa Bay had a very slim wild card chance, but that was eliminated today when they lost, ending their 2-game winning streak, so they are out of it. The Rams playing at Atlanta, and Atlanta ends their losing streak at 7. The final score in this one is 20-13, and eventually I guess we'll see that score. I guess we won't. And the Jets beat New England 42-7. We're going to go to Buffalo now for a post-game report. I wonder if Paul McGuire and Marv Albert are in some jeopardy as they have, just looking at this, they're moving the goalpost up in the direction of Paul McGuire, perhaps attempting to skewer him with it. Paul, how are you, son?
Bob, I know you're very concerned as to whether we're in jeopardy. Perhaps a Christmas present, Paul, for a loved one. One of the goalposts, you can see someone attempting to take it through the press box area.
Excuse me just a second. Can you move that over here a little closer, boys? Yeah. And bring the horses up, too. I mean, that was really great when I saw guys carrying the horses out of here. I mean, that's... Look at this thing. They're beautiful. We're trying to figure out a way to get it through the tunnel. What's really nice about it, though, Marv, they don't fight over it. You know, they've got a whole group of guys that are just moving it along.
Did I hear an announcement on the public address? Please be careful in removing the goalpost. I could swear that I heard it. Well, Bob, that's the scene here in Buffalo. Let's get back to the studio.
And Marv, I would like to thank Paul McGuire publicly for his lovely Christmas gift of the miniature tuxedo. That means a lot to me, especially coming from Paul, because his idea of formal wear is a clean pair of boxer shorts. So, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to both Marv and Paul. Willie?
Well, a few years ago, the first time they clinched, they carried the goalpost up in front of owner Ralph Wilson's box, and I know he was really impressed. But before the game, I told you, Bob, I didn't think Miami would be able to run the ball. They couldn't. They only ran for 2 yards in the second half, and I thought that Thurman Thomas could dominate the game, which he did, rushing for over 150 yards, and that was the difference.
So you called that one, and obviously it has clinched the division in the AFC East. It's clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs for Buffalo, and we'll look at the rest of the playoff picture in both conferences when we come back right after this.
This is really weird. I have to shampoo a lot, and every time I do, my hair gets wet, but then my scalp gets dry, tight, and itchy. The more I shampoo, the drier it can get. Now, I can't stop shampooing, but I can use this. Dry scalp shampoo from Head & Shoulders. Made a different way, so it doesn't dry out your scalp like those other guys can. Try Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Shampoo and help wipe out dry scalp.
This is a 2-hour ride.
So?
So what if my diarrhea comes back?
Oh, relax. You took these Imodium AD caplets.
Just once. I always took the pink stuff 2 or 3 times.
Well, these are much better.
Imodium AD caplets are so effective, they often work in one dose, instead of dose after dose after dose like the pink stuff.
I'm leaving.
Already?
Imodium AD caplets can make your first attack of diarrhea your last.
Jubilation at Rich Stadium in the Buffalo suburbs. Their team has clinched it in the AFC East. Bob Costas back along with Will McDonough. Now, in addition to Buffalo, who's in, who's out in the AFC? Let's start with the American Football Conference. These are the teams that have clinched. Only 3. Buffalo has clinched the division. Miami will be a wild card. The Raiders have clinched at least a wild card, and they have the inside track for the championship in the AFC West. That's the only thing that is sure, those 3 teams in the AFC. Kansas City is alive. They could potentially win the AFC West if everything broke right for them, if they won their last 2 games and the Raiders lost their last game. More likely a wild card, which they can achieve with a victory today at San Diego or next week in a tough game at Chicago. Those 3 teams are still alive for wild cards or for the division championship in the AFC Central: Pittsburgh, Houston, and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh really in the best shape because they need no help. If Pittsburgh wins at Houston, a very tough assignment at the Astrodome, but nonetheless, if they win at Houston next week, doesn't matter what happens anywhere else, they're the champions of the AFC Central. Cincinnati has a cream puff next week as they finish up against the Browns, and Seattle, by some sort of convoluted possibility that I don't want to sort out for you here, does have a wild card chance. Indianapolis was eliminated by a combination of results today, and these other teams were out coming into action today. In the case of the Jets and New England, they were out shortly after the season began. Now on to the NFC. San Francisco, the Giants, and Chicago are division champions. That's long since decided. Washington and Philadelphia have clinched wild cards. Now that changed a little bit, though, last night, because until last night, Washington had the inside track for the home field advantage in a wild card game against Philadelphia. But then when they blew the late lead against Indianapolis and Philadelphia beat Dallas today, it switched. So if they both win next week, or if they each lose their last game, Philadelphia will be the home team against Washington in one of the wild card games. But in any case, they're both in. Dallas is still alive despite today's defeat. New Orleans and Phoenix hanging by a thread. And these are the teams out. Tampa Bay eliminated by their defeat today in Chicago. Green Bay and Minnesota eliminated yesterday. Detroit, the Rams, and the Falcons, adios.
Well, you know, the focus will be on the Central Division games in the AFC next week. They'll decide at least 2 out of the last 3 spots.
And we're back to wrap things up here on the postgame show right after this.
This isn't what you think. It's a new kind of cold relief. Introducing fast-acting, better-tasting Tylenol Cold Effervescent. Strong non-aspirin cold relief from Tylenol. The only effervescent cold medicine that speeds 2 cold medicines to your sneezing and congestion, while it sends Tylenol pain reliever to your aching body. New orange-flavored Tylenol Cold Effervescent, part of Tylenol's complete cold relief line. Nobody cares for your cold like Tylenol Cold.
In 1908, one of the favorites in the great New York to Paris race was a motor car built by Siemens. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens builds over 700 automotive products, from fuel injectors and microprocessors to halogen headlights. Siemens, creating technologies to keep America and the world moving in the right direction. Siemens, precision thinking.
The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. NFL Live is produced by David Neal. Directed by J.D. Hansen. News producer Ricky Diamond. Technical director Richard Sansevier. Associate director Mary Buta Lamusio. Join us next Saturday at a special time, noon Eastern, for NFL Live, preceding our matchup at Soldier Field, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. Until then, for Will McDonough and O.J. Simpson, this is Bob Costas. Thanks for joining us. See you next Saturday, everybody.
The preceding has been a presentation of NBC Sports.
Monday, our mobile lifestyle. Success is over the next hill, but what if you keep moving on to less money? An American Family Report, only on NBC Nightly News.
It's time for Community Bulletin Board on KTVB Channel 7. The Idaho Women's Network will host a Women's Political Priorities 1991 conference on January 12th at the First United Methodist Church in Boise, beginning at 8:30. For more information, call 344-5738. The Boise, Idaho chapter of the NAWIC will sponsor a Federal Drug-Free Workplace Act workshop on January 12th in the AGC building at 110 North 27th Street in Boise, beginning at 8:30. For more information, call 344-4566 or 345-0922. And the Chestnut Brass Company will be performing on January 13th at the Jewett Auditorium in Caldwell, beginning at 8 p.m. Tickets are available at the door and all select-a-seat outlets. Community Bulletin Board is a public service of KTVB, Channel 7 in Boise.
Happy holidays from KTVB, the place to be.
We now join our regularly scheduled program, Now in Progress.
Comes to the microphone and makes her speech, which I have agreed to let her add to the script, in exchange for which she has promised to quit trying to convince you all that this was her idea to begin with.
Jesus' entire life was spent among humble folk.
Go now. I know you'll do good.
And he went through the Holy Land, working mighty miracles, such as healing the sick, raising the dead, making the lame to walk, the blind to receive their sight, and the deaf to hear, and curing all manner of diseases. There's no stopping you then. You just came alive. Seemed like whatever was happening in the town, you were behind it. Organizing the women's groups, leading the literary society, subbing for Santa, saving the whales. My, all those causes. The quilting bee, making mittens for the children.
LeGrand wants you home now. Not yet, Aunt Nora. Oh, no, I've got my orders. Aunt Nora, come fly the kite with us.
Oh, mercy me, no, I'm too old for that.
No, you're not. Come on, let's go. Come on.
I just got to catch my breath. Go play for 5 minutes more.
All right. Yeah.
Make it 10. I remembered a spring day when I was Erica's age, and I flew my kite so high I thought it would get tangled in the clouds. It was just a diamond-shaped affair with pine braces, not like these newfangled things. And then I thought that George must be up there with the clouds and the kites. How funny I must look to him, sprawled out on the ground like that. And last of all, I wondered what that black spot was. Almost as big as the kite. It was starting to blot out the sky.
Nora, the spot you're seeing is macular degeneration.
In English?
There's no operation. There's no cure.
How long before I won't be able to see it all?
That's hard to say.
That means soon, doesn't it?
Well, you're certainly welcome to a second opinion, but I don't want to raise any false hope.
Oh, I'm not expecting any cures. I'm just expecting to die now.
That's been your first reaction to every new challenge. I think I'll die now.
Your first reaction has always been to haul me out of my own house.
You always thanked us afterwards when we made you do things.
Not that time.